understand language. No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
You write your first draft with your heart. And you rewrite with your head.
Seize the day.
Greetings and salutations. This is the Writer Showcase, a monthly show where we bring together a roundtable of writers of different genres, and we ask them a series of questions about the writing process and all things in between. I'm your host, Ryan of Van Dyke Quote Channel, and our guests on this episode is going to be an astounding, humorous roundtable of writers, I would say. So, without any further ado, let's introduce them one at a time, shall we? Please welcome our good friend of ours, Jason DeGray is here. Hello, good sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Ryan? Thanks for having me.
Doing well, sir. Doing well. We're thankful that you are here. And also, we'd like to introduce you to indie writer Mike Tucker is in the building. Hello, good sir. How are you?
Hey, Ryan. Thanks for having me. Hi, Jason.
Hey.
All pleasantries here. Also joining us is the man, the myth, the legend, the man who knows way too much about comic books for his own good, and yet he's still standing at the age of 650. Don Davis is here. He is the wise sage, the wise Jedi. What's up, man? How you doing?
Very well, thank you, and thank you for having me, and for the most part, Mike.
Most part.
He doesn't look a day over 649. It's amazing.
I know.
You haven't seen me walk.
Well, I have, in fact, seen you walk.
I don't know. I don't know if we want to see that yet or not. But all kidding aside, gentlemen, we're happy that you are here. We're also happy that you are here who are watching or listening to this right now. So do not forget to like and share if you're watching this live or on a replay. Thank you so much for doing so. If you have any questions about writing or the writing process in general, let us know in those comments. Let us know in the chat. More than happy to take those as they come in respectively. So with that being said, first question to the field. Jason, what in your mind makes a great book?
Wow. There's a lot to unpack with a question like that. I mean, I think for me, what makes a great book is a book that you can live in, right? The writer has created a world, has created characters, and is telling a story that that kind of sweeps you up, that kind of captures your imagination and captures your attention. I mean, to me, a great book is a book that after you put it down for the night or you're taking a break from reading, that you're still thinking about that book, that you're still like wondering about the characters and still mulling over the things that you just read. And so that to me is the best way to make a book. A great book is something that you're engaging with. It's not just a passive experience. It's an active collaboration, I think, between the author and the reader.
Good response, man. Good response. Appreciate you sharing that with us all the same. What about you, Mike? What do you think makes a great book in your mind?
I like Jason's answer a whole lot. Groucho Marx once famously said, outside of a dog, a book is a man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read. So if you're going by that and what Jason said about the engagement piece, a great book is, it's a great friend, honestly. For my own part, writing, it just gets to a point where I'm okay with it. I don't hate it anymore. I'm never going to love it. I might like it if on a really good day if I'm lucky. But Jason kind of nailed it. So thank you for picking him first.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that.
See, these two gentlemen have just become fast friends. It's a beautiful thing.
We're all
what about you?
fast
I know.
friends.
What about you, Don? What do you think in your mind makes a great book?
Well, I think the two previous answers are good, and anytime you use Groucho Marx in an answer, you're probably on the right track. But I think it really comes down to one thing, and that is, have they made a movie of it? If it is a great book, it's bound to be a movie. So it might not be a great movie. No, I jest. Although it could be true. No, it's for me. It's really about kind of you've got one whenever you're getting towards the end. Get those just a couple of pages left, and you are really dreading leaving that that experience in that world and those those characters, that storyline. So it's really just kind of another version of what Jason said. The fun thing about it, though, is that well, the definition may be kind of the same. It's the person's experience. So we might all read a book and think it's great, and then somebody else is thinking that I don't know that the collected works of Danielle Steele are probably far superior. So it's it's an opinion, but I know it when I see it, just like pornography.
Wow. Okay. Didn't expect to hear that last word here on this show, but hey, we're past it. Not to get into the FCC semantics of this, but we are past 2 minutes, so we are technically allowed to curse and say whatever else.
Hot dog.
Exactly. But we're trying to keep. Sorry, but I understand what you were going with that. But yes, we are doing our best to keep this as a family-friendly show as possible. But outside of that, sorry. Good answers by all of you. We appreciate you sharing with us all the same. How about this one to the field, if you don't mind, Mike? What is your favorite spot to write when you're writing?
The kitchen, without a doubt. I've got a pretty nice setup here, but I also have a really vocal, active family where something is always going on downstairs, and I like to be a part of that. It's sort of it feeds the energy. I get a lot of sort of really negative or not negative, nervous energy out of it, and it absolutely just sort of it fuels the prose. So I'm usually 9 times out of 10 I'm in the kitchen on the kitchen island, just typing away as whatever chaos and anarchy is going on around me, and it's awesome. It's great.
Wow. All right. We're used to the noise. All right. I can dig that. What about you, Jason? Where's your favorite spot to write?
Oh, well, I watched the episode that you had sent me, a previous one, and somebody had mentioned that writers that like to write in cafes are pretentious writers, and I really took that to heart, because I guess I'm a pretentious writer because that is absolutely where I love to write. I've been doing it for so long I love the energy and the eclectic activity, and the conversations and the people moving, and and things like that, and being in that place actually helps me focus more than I can if I'm at home or in a quiet place. If I'm at home trying to write, I'm never getting writing done. I'll sit down and try to get something written down, and then 5 minutes later I'm like, I should probably wash the dishes. I need to vacuum the house, and I just off doing 100 other things and never getting writing done. But if I'm out somewhere and sitting, there's nothing but the notebook in front of me, that really helps me focus and get some stuff done. And picking up from the stuff going on around me, I think has given me some the coolest little dialogue or character descriptions that I've come across in my own writing.
Nice, man. Nice. That's interesting. It's really interesting. What about you, Don? Where's your favorite spot to write?
Wow, I'm kind of the polar opposite of Jason and Mike. I usually write in my office, wherever that happens to be located at the time, and I can deal with noise. I mean, I play music. So while I'm writing, so that's good. That kind of engages me a little bit more, so my thoughts don't wander quite as much. But outside of that, now whenever my kids were young, they one or two of them might wander down to the office and try to bother me. And so no, but no, I kind of like the solitude. The only addition to my experience would be the music, or sometimes a Cardinal game.
All right, based sporting events, or or jamming out, or just getting rid of the other noise and letting the music sink in.
Yep.
That's
Yep. A lot of and I also this is how much of a nerd I am about it. I actually make playlists
really.
to play specifically. God knows I can't trust the radio.
I gotcha. I'm just curious though, on the playlist, is the John Williams Superman theme involved in this? Is there any John Williams-ness thrown in there?
No, some Elmer Bernstein from To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay.
Also,
Sergio.
Sergio Leone. The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
Oh yeah.
You always gotta like that.
Springsteen.
Oh well, yeah, but he's well, yeah, I guess he has a movie. But
He has a
yeah,
movie.
I mean, outside of that, I mean, it's everybody from like you got Pink Floyd, you got more Pink Floyd, Springsteen, Beatles. Just it's usually but I try to drift more towards the things that are not quite as there aren't any there's no Ramones.
That's fair. That's fair. I get it. Some bands are better than others. It's okay.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd, they're in the wall.
I like the Ramones.
I mean,
Loudest concert I ever attended.
Really?
Yeah, for real.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
Because I think you may have mentioned that once before. I can't remember if you did or not.
I don't remember either.
No, it's okay. It was so long ago. I don't remember. Am I going to see it tonight? I never make plans that far ahead. Sorry, had to bring up the Casablanca quote because Casablanca is freaking awesome. But anyway, speaking of storytelling, that's a great story within itself. The making of that movie is a great story within itself, and how they were, trying to figure out how the movie was going to end, and they were kind of shooting it, as they were going along. They didn't have a finished script at the time, so there's some fun facts about Casablanca. But anyway. Good stuff about what your favorite spot to write in is, gentlemen, with all the music and whatever else. Don't forget, this is the Writer's Showcase. Don't forget to like and share. If you're watching live on the replay, thank you for doing so. If you have any questions about writing, all that kind of jazz. Or, hey, if you want to drop your favorite kinds of music, hey, I'm curious, all ears. Drop it in the comments, leave it in the chat. Love to hear from you as they come in, respectively. How about this one, Jason? What do you read? What do you like to read? What kinds of stories? What type of genres?
Well, right now I am rereading the Lord of the Rings trilogy. That's something that I was getting back into. So I really like to read the fantasies and the sci-fis, of course. But I'm a big fan of mythologies too. I like to read a bunch of different mythology. I think the stories and the way that people describe the creation of their worlds and the places that they live is really cool stuff, and that really fascinates me. And as far as like nonfiction and stuff goes, I like to read a lot of weird philosophers and stuff, and that depends on where I'm at in my life, as far as like what I'm reading. And right now I'm reading a lot of G.I. Gurdjieff, as far as the philosophy and the nonfiction goes. Just trying to expand my mind in that way. But I kind of like to bounce around like that. I don't like to focus too much on one thing. I think that it really helps to expand my imagination if I'm getting stuff from a lot of different places and a lot of different sources. And so that's kind of how I like to approach it.
Wow. In the words of our good friend Spock. Fascinating. It's fascinating. But hey, the other thing is, one does not simply walk into Mordor. Sorry, I had to give you a Boromir quote because Sean Bean is a boss, and he gets killed off in 99.9% of his own projects. But still, his character does. Anyway, I mean, he dies at the end of my favorite Bond film, GoldenEye. Dies at the end of Fellowship of the Ring. # spoiler alert for a 25-year-old film. But still works. So throwing it out there. That's interesting, though. Good stuff. Appreciate you bringing that up. Some names there I'm not overly familiar with. I'm going to have to do some research on that. Mike, what about you? What do you like to read? What kinds of stories or genres?
I'm kind of a free range reader. But I mean, if we're talking genre, I am a genre guy. I love, the fantasy, science fiction, horror, sword and sorcery, you name it. Big pulp fan. Right now, I'm working the Badger novel that Mike Barron wrote a couple years ago. I'm working through that. The Max August series by Steve Englehart is something that I'm kind of cooking on right now. Just finished an excellent biography of Robert E. Howard called Blood and Thunder. If you're listening, if you haven't read it, if you're going to get the second edition. It's highly revised. It's worth your trouble. So yeah, as you know, I mean, that's kind of all over the place, but that's what makes it fun.
Rock on, man. Rock on. Yeah, some good names there you threw out. I got a few of those names are on my once again 6 Miles Deep TBR shelf, which include
Right.
Robert E. Howard, which includes Robert E. Howard's Conan, The Coming of Conan the Cimmerian. So
Yeah, he
That's
was
great books.
wildly ahead of his time.
Yeah, that's sitting on my shelf. It's volume 1, by the way. There's 3 volumes that they put out with illustrations in them, but I have that on my shelf back here in my studio. But anyway,
I know it's cool to say, but I do prefer the Howard stuff to the L. Sprague de Camp stuff. It's just, to me, it's night and day. It just is. And nothing, if your favorite guy's de Camp, no offense, but that's just how it landed with me. So
No, that's fighting words.
I don't know. How could anybody's favorite Conan author be L. Sprague de Camp?
I think L. Sprague de Camp was. I think L. Sprague de Camp was his favorite Conan author, without a doubt.
Great, we're gonna start a rivalry show, and I didn't even.
A lot of those books don't even have words in them.
I know.
Ryan, I'm working for you here.
No, I appreciate it, and I feel like at some point or another, someone's going to take this episode and animate it and make us into an episode of Celebrity Deathmatch with
I'm there
saying, "All right, let's get it on."
You haven't lived till you've seen Don Davis and claymation. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we got to make a claymation episode of Writer Showcase. And,
we totally do.
And have that referee call it, and then the 2 announcers come back. That'd be fun. By the way, does anybody remember that when they were a bit younger with Celebrity Deathmatch on MTV?
Yeah, it was one of my favorite shows. It was great.
That was a crazy, wild, doesn't make a whole lot of sense show. And
I want to say that the Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera episode was the high water mark for that time in pop culture.
You know what? Mike Tucker just brought up a valid point. If I were you, I would go on social media, which is more specifically YouTube, and check out clips from that episode because, all right, let's get it on, and then.
Yeah, you can't, you really can't beat it.
Just some good claymation out there.
Yeah, MSTK3K, but with blood and guts. It's just,
Yeah, I remember staying up late several times, if not many times as a kid, watching Celebrity Deathmatch when I probably shouldn't be watching because it got very gory, very violent with some of the matches that did take place in the claymation ring. But,
can't believe you turned out to be a writer.
No. That's great. You know what they say? Crazier things have happened. That is for certain. But anybody remember Celebrity Deathmatch? Let us know in the comment. And by the way, if anyone is watching and does remember that property, let us know your favorite matches that took place on that series because I'll be fascinated to hear someone's favorite fight that went down. But outside of that, Don Davis, my man, what do you like to read? What kind of stories or genres?
Before I answer that, I do want to address the, let's just say the elephant in the room. Gumby.
Oh, yeah.
Gumby was ahead of all of it.
Yeah.
And so all you deathmatch
whippersnappers, are we whippersnappers now?
Yeah, in my day, you had to watch Gumby, damn it. So Gumby, and yes, I remember Celebrity Deathmatch. I was always surprised whenever it got so violent. The title should have been the giveaway, but as far as what I like to read, a lot of detective and and not in detective like things like. Robert B. Parker, Lawrence Block. I really like the burglar books from Lawrence Block. Ed McBain, big 87th Precinct fan. Donald Westlake. is always good. Elmore Leonard's great. So those are the ones that I tend to gravitate towards. I mean, I used to read a lot more horror, but that turned out to be a little too much of a busman's holiday for me. I mean, at some point in time, that's what I write, and so you either, I mean, I'll still read the occasional Stephen King, not because I consciously made that decision, but because he puts out a book probably just about every week, and so I fell behind sometimes in the early 2000s, and so and on King stuff. But anyway, so that's the genre I read the most, and outside of that, I read all kinds of weird nonfiction stuff, just basically for ideas, and also to come up with weird things to talk about.
Gotcha. Hey, whatever fits your fancy. It's all good here. Appreciate
Here,
it.
I would like. Oh, I was going to say, I'd like to add that I had a theory in the early 2000s that Stephen King had actually died whenever he got hit by that car, and they just took all of his books and plugged them into a computer and had the computer spit out novels like perpetually forever, and that's why that he's been able to keep writing novels that read a lot alike. For it seems forever, and that he'll never stop. I really do think that he's pretty much an AI at this point, and that he just writes on. It
Great
just writes
job on
automatically.
11/22/63.
Well, that's Jason. That's a great theory because
Well, you give a monkey
infinite number of typewriters. In this case, it was just one magical typewriter, maybe two, but.
right.
Wouldn't that be funny if that's what AI really was? Just a bunch of monkeys somewhere looking stuff up. But anyway, so in your mind, he's AI. I was thinking more along the lines of some kind of resurrected by some kind of cult. So there's a physical manifestation of him because he shows up, on my feed in terms of news stories every time he's mad at somebody or loves some movie. So maybe a combination. Maybe the witches are all AI. Not all of them. I don't want to put that out there. The ones that raised King, Raising King. There you go. That's the next book. Jason, you're welcome to the title. Raising King.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what Jason does with these ideas we're just throwing at him. All good things. Gee whiz, I don't even know where to go with this. But anyway, we're gonna try. Jeez. AI and Stephen King. Oh, this is a movie not waiting to happen. But anyway.
Like Jason, I said, we're getting your clicks, man.
Yeah, we're working hard. We're getting the ratings. People are watching this, and our good friend Bobby Nash at BobbyNash.com just liked this video. So thanks, Bobby. Appreciate you, man. Good supporter of the show, good supporter of the channel within itself. So thank you, Bobby. Appreciate you. Can't do it without you, brother. How about this one, Jason? How do you interact with your fans? How do you interact with them?
How do I interact with them? What do you mean, like social media and things like that, or like? No, I wasn't. I don't know. I fight every one of them. Everybody that comes up to me.
Yeah.
Everybody that comes up to me and says, "Hey, man, I really like your book," I'm like, "Now we have to fight." And and so if I win, then that's fine. You're allowed. But
Highlander, there could be only one.
I understood that reference. And that movie turns 40 this year, believe it or not, Don.
I do. Sean Connery's not getting any younger.
Unfortunately, no.
Neither is Christopher Lambert.
It's funny because I don't remember Chris doing any conventions, but they just announced Christopher Lambert is going to be a celebrity guest at Steel City Con in Mars, Pennsylvania. They did. Really? I'm dead serious. It was just announced earlier today on their Instagram feed saying, "Hey guys, just to give everyone a heads up, Christopher Lambert is going to be a guest at our August show at Steel City Con in Mars, Pennsylvania. Or it's not Mars. It's not Mars. It's Monroeville, Pennsylvania. That's it. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Monroeville, Pennsylvania. That's where it is. Sorry. Feel free to look it up at steelcitycon.com. More information is listed there. Which, not to do a free plug for them, but whatever. I've been to Steel City Con once. Have I been there once? Yeah, I've been there once. I thought it was twice. Once. It was fun, but it was very crowded, very nuts, but it was still a good time. And I met some really big names in the Hollywood industry, which is always fun, especially when they're nice to you and not complete, not so nice people. But anywho, that's what I meant, Jason. Do you interact with your fans mostly online? Do you do it through book signings and that type of stuff? I wasn't trying to weird you out.
No, I mean, yeah, that's just an interesting thing. I've been around for. I was doing the self-publishing thing since like the early 2008, and really trying to do the book signings and and all of that type of stuff. And that was a really eye-opening experience as far as like interacting with people. And I actually wrote about this in an article I did a while ago, just describing the, I don't know, people would actively like avoid eye contact with you. Like, you'd have your table set up at Hastings or whatever, and they would come in and you'd be sitting there with all your books laid out, and stuff. And yeah, most of them would just walk right on by. And a lot of times, they would come over and talk, and get a little conversation. They'd pick up a book, and take it, and then like leave it somewhere else in the store, or things like that. But and so that's kind of what those like self-publishing book signings and things like that really remind me of. And I really haven't gotten into like the convention scene and all of that type of stuff. I'm about to to start ramping that up here in the near future. So I'll probably be able to answer that question better then. But yeah, right now it's just a lot online, I would say.
Oh, fair enough. I get that. It's okay. It's all good. And we wish you the best of luck with your upcoming signings and book events you're going to be participating in as time goes on. So keep it up, man. Just keep it up. Just put one foot in front of the other. You got this. What about you, Mike? How do you interact with your fans? Is it more so online, or is it in person at book signings and things like that?
It's a mixed bag. I did as you know, we did the And I Quote podcast last month from a signing event that I was actually at during the webcast. It's strange for me to think that I have fans. I think Don has fans, and I'm just kind of there. But I do know we have readers, and it's extremely gratifying. I'm appreciative of anybody who took a minute to page through this thing that Don and I have literally been working on for 30 years this year. So it's kind of it's very gratifying when that happens. So yeah, I mean, online and in person is just really just depends on what are we doing this month.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Makes complete sense. I totally understand where you're coming from. What about you, Don? How do you interact with your fans? More so in person at book signings and other events, or maybe is it more so online?
Most of it's really through restraining orders.
Oh God.
And I'm sure they're nice people, but why take the chance? Yeah, Stephen King, I think, pointed out the dangers of that.
Is that AI Stephen King or the actual?
Oh no, this
Stephen
was the real dude.
The actual Stephen, all right.
Yeah, this Misery.
Yeah.
He was the
Misery.
he was the guy. But no, you know what? I guess in person. I'm not sure that my favorites are the ones who come up to me and say, "I read your book," and then they don't say anything else. And it's kind of like, yeah, okay, well, if you're gonna
Don Davis Salinger over here.
Yeah, if I if you think I'm going to ask you how you liked it, we're going to be standing here for a while. You know, you tell me, usually, if somebody likes it, that kind of, that's the headline of the conversation. Hey, I liked your book. Oh, thanks. Let's, we can talk about it, but the other ones, it's kind of like, I don't know if they're looking for a rebate or whatever. But no, I mean, I try to always be nice, emphasis on try. But no, I mean, I'm happy anybody reads them, and so but I wouldn't say it's been one way or the other. Sorry, Deborah Harry.
No, I gotcha. All good things. All good things. Yeah. While you were saying
A
that,
Blondie reference.
Yeah,
You
Blondie,
can't beat a Blondie reference.
I haven't heard that in a while, by the way.
Oh, you need to go to my supermarket.
Okay, I'll be sure to do that next time I'm in that neck of the woods. It's oh boy, this show's gone in a million different directions. We've only been here 2 minutes, actually longer than that. But I'm speaking in a weird phrase. But anywho, to give everyone some clarity, this is the Writer Showcase / Tangent Random Stuff Being Said show on, and I quote, channel, right, gentlemen? Don't forget to like and share. If you have any questions about writing or maybe the sanity of Mike, Don, or Jason, or myself, let us know in the comments, let us know in the chat. We'll have to take those as they come in respectively. Good Lord. But how about this one, gentlemen? Jason, favorite characters you've written thus far?
Wow, favorite characters I've written thus far?
Yeah, so far in your illustrious career.
In my illustrious career? I've recently rediscovered one of my early characters I've written, and I forgot just how much I loved this guy. And is a character called Infinity Jones, and he's kind of like this wandering bard, magician kind of guy, and he wanders through this whimsical, absurd land called the Realm of Possibility, and this is the world that the books that I'm going to release here soon actually take place in, and I just forgot how much fun this guy actually was to write, and so I've really been getting a kick out of that. It's been a while since I've laughed at and enjoyed the whole my own writing, and oh man, I forgot how fun that can be. And so that's the experience that I've had coming back to this character, and so that is what really I love about it, is that it reminds me of the sheer joy of writing, and that would have to be it at this point.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. What about you, Don? Favorite character or characters you've written thus far?
The first one would be character by the name of Jesse Sykes. He was the villain in my first book, Sins of the Flesh. He was just so much fun to write. I really liked him. I just anytime I was writing that character, it almost felt like he was standing right behind me with his hands on my shoulder telling me what to say. But medicine really made that go away. But my favorite one now is a character by the name of Zelda McCord. And she is ever more prominent in our Armies of the Night series. And I just get a kick out of writing her. I mean, she doesn't watch it, she's going to screw around and become the main character. So, but a lot of fun. I mean, just very sharp. And she is a combination. Well, she's a private investigator, so there you go. But she also, through the process of the early part of our series, gets drawn more into some more paranormal type of experiences. So now she's kind of in with this group that does a lot more, fighting evil than it does regular private investigating. But she's very smart and very funny, at least to me. So, but she's my favorite right now. And even though she's in the first three books, she's in the fourth book that we're currently writing, and then and I'm thinking she's rapidly coming up on more words with her than with Jesse. So those are the ones.
Oh, all right, cool. It's a good list too. Thank you for sharing that with us. What about you, Mike? Favorite character?
I thought Don was going to take Dennis Coughlin. He's one of my favorite characters that Don ever wrote. But I
like him.
He's in the second novel, Bring on the Night. Now the ones that I like in I had to really just sort of quash my instinct to go all snarky and stuff like that. I was a working journalist for about 10 years. So when we're talking about, favorite characters, Ted Turner and the first George Bush immediately leap to mind. But
don't forget Richard Nixon.
Yeah, well, I never interviewed him.
So you say?
Well, he wasn't around by the time that I was working, so it's not anything on purpose. But fiction-wise, the ones that are the most fun are usually the character that I'm working on right now. But having said that, I really got a kick out of writing Marie Thibodeau, who is our resident voodoo sorceress swamp character, and just one of the things when Don and I got together and decided to write these series of novels, while he was working on one section of the book, I'd be working on the other one, and typically that was the backstory. So that would be, there was a lot of stuff that Marie did before we got to the events of book one, Long Time Gone, but also so it's all stuff that happened before, prequel type things that are integrated throughout the series and directly inform the next part of the book that's happening right there and then when we get to it, right? So you got Marie Thibodeau and you've got Father Daniel Cassidy, who both of them are just, there's a lot of texture, there's a lot of depth. They've been around a long time, they've done a lot of stuff, and they're responsible for a lot of things that the other characters in the book take for granted as sort of being normal, common, everyday events, and yet, these things have gone back hundreds of years in some cases and have been incredibly impactful. So it's always kind of really interesting and intriguing when a character kind of reveals these different layers and peeling the onion to you.
Yeah, very true. We all got layers. Ogres and onions have layers. So to throw that out there, a little bit of sense of humor, as it were. But good stuff, man. Good stuff. Lots of great stories and characters have been written, and more to come. So stick around. Lots more to be thankful or grateful for in that case. Jason, what advice would you give to aspiring writers out there?
Probably the same advice my college English teacher gave me whenever I told him that I was going to be a writer. And he says, well, you better learn how to write for the trash can. And I said, what? And I said, what are you talking about? Everything I write is gold. I mean, I have no idea what you mean. And over the years, I've really come to understand that is absolutely the case. And so, that has to be a part of the process, that you're always trying to better yourself in the craft, that there's always more to learn, that you can always become a better writer, and you should always be striving to do that. And so, never settle with, oh yeah, it works. It's good. Always push yourself to tell the best story that you can tell, and respect yourself and in the process and the story that you're trying to tell enough in order to get that across, and in order to offer the best work that you can, because there's a lot of crap out there, and so don't add to it. try to create something beautiful and give that to the world instead.
Wow. Okay. If that wasn't a mic drop moment, I don't know what is. All right. That's the end of the show. We'll see you guys later. Anyway, no, thanks for
Thanks.
sharing that with us, Jason. That's pretty hashtag. That's what they say on social media, Jason, is hashtag like a boss. But anyway, we digress.
Okay.
I know. But you never heard the catchphrase like a boss? You never heard that before?
Oh no, I've heard that. I didn't know it was a social media hashtag. Now, I did not know. That
It
was
probably isn't. I'm just making this up as I go, like they do in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
okay. It is now. Awesome.
I was going to say, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to catch up to that truck. No, I don't know. I'm making this up as I go. What about? Jeez. What about you, my man, Mike? What advice would you give to aspiring writers out there?
A couple things. First of all, Don had a great answer to this last month when we did the podcast. So, Don, go find the transcript of that and just read. There's a
I've
couple.
changed my mind since then.
Oh, you've changed your mind. You've evolved.
He's had over
have
a
you?
month to figure it out.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
And I have.
A couple things. First of all, at the beginning of the show, we were talking about our favorite places to write, right? So there's no real one answer that's going to work as far as, advice is concerned. It's one of those things where if you want to do it, you're going to do it. No one's going to be able to stop you. No one's going to be able to tell you how to tell your story better than you know how to tell your story. And if you don't want to do it, there's nothing I can say that's going to make you want to do it, right? You're either in for it or you're not. Having said that, don't write for me, don't write for Don, don't write for Jason. Write for yourself. I have many friends who cannot get out of their own way, who would be just incredibly talented authors. They're worried about what this sort of, imagined audience wants to read. And it's like, at the end of the day, no one's going to read your stuff. I'm very fortunate because no matter what, I know that at least Don's going to read my stuff, and vice versa. Don knows that no matter what, I'll at least be looking at his stuff. So we got baked in readership that way. But other than that, I'm not really too worried about it. If anybody else likes it, that's great. That's just, but it is icing on the cake. It's gravy. So.
All right. Hey, whatever works. No pressure here. No pressure here, Don. But any advice to aspiring writers out there that you would want to pass out?
Well, what comes to me is the words of advice I got whenever I first started working in publishing, which was get out of the business. So
quit.
And that was really what I was told. But no, outside of that, I think Jason and Mike have kind of made some really good points. I think it comes down to it's not quite as easy as you might think. A good idea is the start; it's not the end. So, and it's practice, and don't be too intimidated by all the great stuff out there. Read a piece of crap every once in a while. But when you're doing that, you should understand or try to analyze why it's a piece of crap. That's an easier skill to develop early on as opposed to understanding why something's great. And so I guess what I'm saying, kids, is aim for the middle. But to Mike's earlier point about writing for you, both my brother and I worked in publishing for several years, and there was a period of time, I guess it was in the late 80s. I mean, they were always chasing genres. There were mashups and that type of thing. But it's, unlike what you can do with certain other types of art, books take a while to put together. So at least in theory, or at least to get to the street. So you'd have all these different genre mashups. And this was proclaimed to be the next big one. That was, and there was, at that point in time, whenever we decided, and my brother was my writing partner for my first two books. But at that point in time, science fiction romances were supposed to be the next big thing. So, I like science fiction, and I like romance. And so, I mean, the idea, not necessarily the books, but it's like, well, how hard can this be? Let's write it. And so we're writing it. We're making great progress. It's a good story, but or in our minds. And then so we get to the one day, and we were actually in the same physical location at this point in time. I just looked at him, and we were about 120 pages in, and I just said, "What are we doing?" I mean, it just. But see, there is the whole only a fool ever wrote for money type of thing. I mean, it wasn't us. It wasn't really anything we felt passionate about. It became a term paper, and so nowhere near as much fun to write something if you're chasing a genre versus writing a genre or a story or a character that you really like. So that's what I would say. Like, find what you like, write that, and then the readers will probably find you.
There you go. There you go. Wise words said by a very wise man, if not a foolish one. No, I'm just kidding. You're not foolish. You are wise beyond your years, Don. We all know that. Mike's known that for years, and Jason is just starting to get to know that, because I'm sure Jason's been wondering. I feel like this whole episode's been an episode of the Twilight Zone for my life. What am I doing here? I don't know.
No.
I mean, I'll be honest.
Don't book me with those guys ever again.
I know. I'm serious. I think Jason, you've been introduced as two of the most unique personalities we've ever had on these shows.
I'm honored.
Yeah, and I mean that in a good way. I don't mean that in a nasty way. Yeah, I mean it in a positive, not a negative, just so everybody's aware. This is the Writer Showcase. Don't forget to like and share. If you're watching us live on the replay, thank you so much for doing so. If you have any questions about writing or our sanity, let us know in the what am I saying? Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. More than happy to take those as they come in respectively. Good Lord. Jason, who's an author, living or dead, you love to have a conversation with?
Oh, Robert E. Howard. Or Philip K. Dick.
Okay.
Hands down. I mean, both of them are I think, fascinating characters in their own right. And so I like them each for different reasons and on their own merit. But yeah, I mean, either one of those guys. Absolutely. I just think Robert E. Howard would be kind of like this larger than life, type of person. And from the biographies and stuff like that have been written on him, and his letters in the back of the the Del Rey, Conan stuff. He just seems like this like I said, like this larger than life character. I'm like, that dude would have been cool to hang around with, every once in a while. I think after a while he would have gotten too much, but and then Philip K. Dick, I mean, in his own neurotic, everybody's out to get me conspiratorial type of way, that would have been, would have also been a trip to, hang out with and talk to and, pick their brain about things. And so, those are the two that, hands down, I would love to do that at anytime. So yeah, I mean, if we can make that happen, speaking of raising people from the dead, why can't they do that? Why can't we get them to raise Robert E. Howard and Philip K. Dick? Is there somebody we can write? Do either anybody here know an email? Somebody, the witches, that we can email about this?
Yeah, I've got it.
I would really like to know.
Yeah, and those guys would be perfect for maybe chapter 2 or 3 of Racing King. So once again, all your space and run with it.
Now it's an ensemble piece. Great.
All I'm asking for is half the royalties and a mention at the first part.
The clearances are going to cripple this thing, Don. The lawyers are going to get involved.
No, public figures, buddy.
Yeah. We could change the names. Dilip K. Fick. That's.
There you go. Nobody will ever figure it out.
That'll fool everyone.
That will. Yeah, it will. I'm sorry. I haven't read any of the original source material written by Philip K. Dick. I only remember the movie adaptations of his work, so I can't really say anything about his. In terms of his writing, I can't really say anything because I've seen the 2 Blade Runners, I've seen Paycheck, I've seen Next, which was based on a short story by Philip K. Dick. There's a few others out there, loose adaptations, if you will. But
they are cool, but they are. Harlan Ellison coined the term bug bleep, and that pretty much clocks it, I think.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Like I said, I haven't been exposed to Philip K. Dick's writing yet.
Worth digging out.
Okay, I have to. Once again, more stuff to add to our 6-mile-long TBR list. That's what it is. Man, gosh almighty. What about you, Wise Sage Don Davis? Who's an author, living or dead, you'd love to have a conversation with?
Living, probably David Sedaris. I just love him, and try to read everything he writes. So I just think he's great, and and very, very, very funny. Dead, probably Hunter S. Thompson. Although I don't know that I would get in a car with him.
You want that conversation to be on the phone for sure.
Yeah.
If he invites you out to the bar, you say no.
Yeah, look, I know what happened to Benicio del Toro. So del Toro, sorry, Benicio. But no, I mean, I love Thompson's writing as well, but it's just talk about larger than life. I mean, holy cow! But also a major troublemaker.
Okay, wow, I'm learning some things I didn't otherwise know before. This is why we call it the Writer's Showcase. You never know what you're going to learn on this show. That is for certain. That is for certain. What about you, Mike? Who's an author, living or dead? You want to have a conversation with him? Why?
I'm going to go with 2 because Jason did. I would, and Don did actually. Richard Matheson, who was one of the Twilight Zone writers, and then also wrote a couple of, I mean, his novels are just extraordinary, and his short stories. Somewhere in Time, the Christopher Reeve movie was based on one of his works, and a graduate of the University of Missouri. So it'd just be great to pick his brain. And then Steve Gerber, the comics writer from the 70s and 80s, creator of Thundar the Barbarian, I also think would just be just a fascinating conversation. And unfortunately, neither of them are still with us, so that's probably not going to happen anytime soon.
No.
But it'd still be good chat.
Yeah. We'll add them to the list.
Yeah, chapter
we'll add
4,
them to the
right?
email to the witches.
Yeah.
At the end, they all have to fight.
Well, there can only be one.
Right.
Well, that's the thing.
Exactly.
You know what?
You got to pull a Lambert on that one.
I think the thing ends at the Iron City Convention.
Yes.
The one ring to rule them all, or in this
Yeah.
case, the one king to rule them all.
We'll do the giant Rock'em Sock'em robots like Liefeld and those guys had at the Chicago Con that one year. Oh, this is going to be huge.
That's a good point.
Jason, I don't see you making notes.
He can remember it all. He's just that good.
Here's what he's doing. He's making mental notes is what he's trying to do. So
it's being recorded, man. He's going to play this back to the end of his.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. This is
replays.
Okay.
They're called replays, Don. They're called
Everything
replays.
on the internet is forever. He doesn't have to make notes.
Jason, you can't. I'm sorry to tell you this, Jason, but you can't escape this. So.
Oh, okay. No, it's done. It's done.
It's like a bad tattoo.
I'll outline it.
Yeah. It's going to be on the what do they call it? It's going to be on the interwebs forever. In the words of Judge Joe, let's get it all. Yeah, it's anyway. Yeah. Claymation.
I like that you went through like 3 references there in the span of 2 seconds. That's hats off, man.
Thank you. Yeah, we do our best around here.
Yeah. Well, this is quality entertainment for sure.
It is. Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I said, I've been watching movies since I was 3 or 4, and I can just remember certain lines and quotes from characters in movies and all that kind of stuff very, very well. I have a sharp mind for that. So, we were talking about this. What was it? I had a conversation with some friends of mine earlier today. We were talking about the latest episodes of Maul's Shadow Lore, the new Star Wars animated series. And we were saying how it's not only a good day to talk about Star Wars, it's also Superman Day. So we were talking about, different things surrounding that and all that kind of jazz. So it was maybe a few lines. I mean, I honestly, I started quoting the prequels, and I'm not a big prequels fan, but I started quoting the Star Wars prequels, and they were just like, I'm like, yeah.
Were you doing the Jar Jar lines with the voice?
No, I was doing what do you call it? The lines from Attack of the Clones between what was it? I think it was Anakin. Anakin had some lines in there. I tried to think. Who was Was it Anakin? It was Anakin and one of the other characters. I forget. But anyway,
Was it Padme?
It wasn't Padme. No, it was not Padme. It was not Padme. It was not Padme. No.
Was it the woman who looked like Padme?
No, no, it had nothing to do with that. It was
all right.
What about Obi-Wan? Was it Obi-Wan?
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay. It probably was.
A non-Padme fan.
It's okay. No.
Was it Qui-Gon?
It's called Qui-Gon Jinn, by the way.
Mike.
It's called Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon Jinn. Yeah, that's the full name.
It's the prequel. We don't care about those.
He was the best character.
Yeah.
And so was Darth Maul.
I was gonna say, yeah, Darth. I mean, even though he got chopped in half at the end of Phantom Menace, but he does come back in the animated series.
What?
Sorry, spoilers.
26.
It's
25. Yeah, it's
26, 27, because it came out in 99, so that would make it 27 years.
Carry the one.
But weren't you disappointed when? I mean, I loved that character, the look of him, and everything else, and then. Boom, he's there and then he's gone. It's like, wait a minute.
But he does come back. Darth Maul does come back, and it is part of canon. So he does come back in the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. All these are animated properties, by the way, which are currently streaming on Disney Plus. # not a sponsor. But
you can't keep a good Sith down.
You really can, especially him, because Darth Maul has become very popular over the years, particularly because of Sam Witwer's voice acting. He does a great job on that, by the way. Just throwing that out there. But feel free to check it out, all things considered. I'm trying to think. If I could, this is a good question, by the way. If I could talk to an author, living or dead, who I want, first of all, I want to talk to Claudia Gray. That's the first person I want to talk to. She's written some great Star Wars novels over the years. Still is, by the way. So Claudia Gray would be one. I'm trying to think of someone who's no longer with us that I would love to have a conversation. Trying to think. I mean, I haven't read a whole lot of Robert E. Howard yet, so can't really say his name, at least not yet. But Claudia Gray and some of the others who've written, Christy Golden, who's also written some Star Wars. That would be good. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm on a Star Wars kick. Sue me. But outside of that, Jason, what is one book that belongs on everyone's bookshelf?
One book that The Last Unicorn.
Interesting.
Peter S. Beagle, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that Beagle?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It's an absolutely beautiful book. It's crazy to say, because when I was a child, the movie actually traumatized me. I actually still have PTSD from that movie as a kid. But reading the book, when I got older, it was, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Like there's no other word for it. I think, in my opinion, than beautiful. And so I would say that that book, whenever you want to spend some time with something that has beauty in it, definitely that.
All right. That didn't see that one coming. What about you, Don? What's a book that belongs on everyone's bookshelf?
Well, I'm probably going to have to go with the Bible. It's big and it's heavy. It's good for self-defense. It's good for propping open doors, smooshing unwanted demons. So go Bible or go away. So no, that's obviously the one that everybody would pick. So I'm not going to. So let's say number 2 would be, I want to say probably To Kill a Mockingbird. It's still the one that seems to resonate with me. If I was feeling smarter today, I would say Catcher in the Rye. But, that one you got to catch at the right time.
That's actually a good point. Yeah, one of the things I learned from To Kill a Mockingbird is you really can't know someone, scout, unless you walk a mile in their shoes. So or put yourself in their shoes. So I'm thinking that actually makes a lot of sense. That's actually wise. This guy's good. But then again, it's being played by Gregory Peck in the live action adaptation of it, so it makes pretty good sense. Who the fuck that guy could go from playing a small town lawyer to the father of what's his name, Damien in the Omen. So
Yeah, it's that's why you got to keep a Bible around, and then
okay. Yeah, that's true. No, he's not wrong, Mike. He's not wrong. The other thing, and here's another thing for you. I learned this from a sitcom, okay, Don? Now, in the episode of Seinfeld, Elaine looks at Kramer and says, "Hey, Kramer, listen, you've seen The Omen, right?" Yeah. What exactly was that kid? Who, Damien? Nothing. He was just a mischievous, rambunctious kid. And that was it. And I'm like, wait a minute. He wasn't just mischievous. No. I don't think Kramer got the point of what the Omen actually is about, but it still is a funny line that he throws in there in that episode. I thought, okay, now that I've had a chance to sit down and actually watch the Omen to figure out what the heck they were talking about, I'm like, okay, he was not a mischievous, rambunctious kid. He was the spawn of Satan. So it's like, well, let's get it straight here, Kramer. But
tomato.
It is.
When they were workshopping that one, Ryan, the original title was Problem Child.
Really?
Yeah, Problem Child, and then
the movie with John Ritter came out years later.
Yeah, there was some legal battles, but since they had changed to the Omen, it kind of, and Damien versus whatever that little redheaded son of a gun was.
Oh, shoot.
Was it Ronnie Howard?
I don't remember. I can't remember. Someone's going to have to Google it. I don't know. But it's an interesting point, though. I did not know the original title of the Omen's Problem. Wow.
Feel free to use that anytime.
Man, he's just giving stuff away for free.
I know, seriously, Jason. With that gift that sometimes people use on social media with what's his name?
He's a magnanimous guy.
I was going to say that's another way of saying it. But before we get too far off the rails here, thanks a lot, Don. Appreciate it for going on a tangent and going off the rails for us. But Mike, what is a book that belongs on everyone's bookshelf that has nothing to do with the Omen?
You mean besides the ones Don and I have written and Jason have written, or?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that's what you meant.
Being silly.
Honestly, I Don was talking about it a minute ago. Back in the day, the genre mashups were all the thing, and Bring on the Night by Don and Jay Davis is one of the favorite things I've ever read because it mashes up the serial killer, fiction with your classic crime novel with vampire story. It's really just artfully executed. Hey, there it is. Yeah. That's one of my favorites. I think, but in sort of non-genre thinking, there's a bunch of other ones out there. Gossamer by Lois Lowry is great for a younger reader, but it also sort of resonates with an adult audience as well. The Countess by Rebecca Johns is another masterfully written book where she tackles the subject of history's first female serial killer, and it's told partially in epistolary. Very, very smart way of handling that. I like Excel by Michael Atchison, where he sort of takes the myth of America's rock and roll band and kind of brings it through in a way that sort of resonates with Almost Famous, but yet goes in a completely different direction. And then there's Dylan's Treasure by Mark Sanders, which is a young YA, kind of fantasy-ish series, but it's grounded in historical fact. And all of those are just really worth, I don't know if they belong in everybody's shelf, but they're definitely worth, checking out.
Wow. We got some really good titles here and authors that we're going to have to add to your TBR list for those of you who are watching and listening to this program right now. So there you go. The more you know. There you go. There's your PSA. I would say one book, if not series, I would say belongs on everyone's bookshelf. And this is just because I've read every single entry within this series, and it's ongoing, by the way. It's still going. And we mentioned his name earlier. I'm going to bring it up again. Bobby, you're getting plugs tonight. The Snow series by Bobby Nash. It's a crime fiction thriller series that is a mixture of Die Hard meets Burn Notice, meets just a little bit of Hawaii Five-0. Like, it's just a mixture of all this thrilling, fun, adventure, guy in the wrong place, wrong time situations. And it is really, really, honestly, like, it's really. And by the way, our good friend Deja Marie is in the chat. She says aloha from the state of Hawaii, where she is, for everybody. What's up, Deja? I hope everything is well in your neck of the woods, girl. And aloha to you, too. We were just mentioning Hawaii Five-0 a moment ago. But the most recent entry in the Snow series, written by Bobby Nash, which you can find on bobbynash.com and on Amazon, is called Snow Island. And in Snow Island, the most recent entry within this series, Abraham Snow is the lead character, and he used to be an undercover operative for the government, and then he went through a situation where his cover was blown, and now he has to start working for his grandfather's private security firm in Summersville, Georgia, more specifically, the fictional town of Summersville, Georgia. And he gets into these crazy, wild adventures where he's wrong place, wrong time, like John McClane was in the Die Hard movies, if anybody remembers Die Hard. And it's just fun. It's fun, wild stuff, and these graphics were put together by cover artist Jeffrey Hayes of PlasmaFireGraphics.com. When the look of your book matters to you. And Deja Marie says, Hawaii Five-0. Yes, I did mention it. Yes. So in Snow Island, the most recent entry within the series, Abraham wants some R&R, so he and his grandfather take a trip out to Hawaii to be with some of Abraham Snow's Abraham Snow's friends, and they get roped into a case together, and things just ensue from there. And there might be sharks involved, so don't let Bruce the Shark get to you. Smile, you son of a. And then there's your Jaws reference for the night, fellas. It happens. But yeah, no, I would say the Snow series belongs on everyone's bookshelf, and there's volume 1 and volume 2 of the first six books in the series, and then there's there've been 2 more in the series written by Bobby Nash, and then there's 2 collections of Snow shorts, which are short stories written by different writers that add to the series. So if you haven't heard of it, never seen it, check out bobbynash.com. You'll find out more, or you can go to abrahamsnow.com for more information on that. So that's something I believe belongs on everyone's shelf, because it's just fun, throwback, crime fiction, thriller. It's just fun, honestly. If I had to describe it in any other way, I would say it's fun. So in case anyone's into that subgenre, feel free to look it up. A lot of fun.
Ryan, little known fact, since you brought it up on Hawaii Five-0, that was actually filmed right outside of Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Really?
Yeah. Tremendous green screen technology, although they didn't call it that at the time. But all in Cedar Rapids.
Well, huge surf community in Cedar Rapids. You really can't.
And anytime you saw the ocean, if you look close enough, you could see it was just really models. It was just models.
Okay. Does that mean there were matte paintings involved?
Oh, at least, yeah.
You had to have those. You had to have those. And the work they did there helped really kind of start Industrial Light and Magic. So there's your Star Wars tie back. So anyway, I just, I hope that didn't spoil anybody's appreciation of Hawaii Five-0.
No, it deepened and broadened it. It is so much more.
It is.
Yeah.
One of the reasons the remake really isn't, or the reboot or whatever they call it, isn't. I'm not going to say it's not great because I haven't seen it, but a lot of the complaints I hear about it is not enough Iowa.
And they didn't reanimate Jack Lord, Chapter 7, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Raising King.
God.
Yeah, Raising King.
Yeah. We're gonna need at least enough chapters for because if we're gonna have to battle at the end, then we're gonna have to do some kind of bracket tournament. So we're gonna need.
We'll just do celebrity death match. See what I did there, Ryan?
Right.
I brought it all the way back around.
All the way back around. That's right, and we appreciated all the same. Deja saying, "Wait, is he saying it wasn't filmed?" No. Deja.
He's kidding, Deja.
Deja. He's being. It's all a joke. It's all a joke. Jack Lord looking over.
Wake up, Deja.
It's a very dry wit.
Very dry wit around here,
At
Deja.
work.
That's who Don Davis is.
They tell me at the institution. So no, it absolutely was not filmed in Hawaii.
Or Cedar Rapids.
Cedar Rapids. By the way, someone looked at me the
Cheyenne,
other day.
Wyoming, wasn't it, Don? Really?
Maybe
It's the third season.
third season.
The whole,
I think.
yeah.
Maybe it was the fourth. But anyway.
The OK Corral. And
exactly. You know, someone looked at me the other day and they said to me, "Hey, Ryan, let me ask you a question." I said, "Yeah, sure. What's on your mind?" He looks at me and he says, "Is this heaven?" "No. It's Iowa." There you go. There's another reference for you. Love the references.
it can't be a conversation with Ryan without quoting a Kevin Costner movie. It just can't.
No, it can't, because what's it called? Field of Dreams is in my top 5 of all time for good reason, by the way. Because if you build it, he will come. So I do want to good Lord. I do want to take this opportunity to say thank you to every single person who has been here this week on the Writer Showcase, and for those of you who have put up with our insanity so far. But I want to thank you to everybody for being here. This was a lot of fun. This was great. We're definitely going to do this again sometime and make sure Mike and Don are more sane. But
never happened.
It's never going to happen in a million quadrillion years. Sorry, Deja, but they're never going to be sane.
People pay top dollar for this comedy act.
They do. And Jason came all the way from, I forget which part of the land you're from, Jason, but you came all the way from so-and-so to be here with us and enjoy this insanity. So with that being said, Jason, if someone wants to know more about you and your incredible amount of work, where can they follow you?
Oh, well, I'm on Facebook at Jason DeGray Author, and check out the new press that I'm going to be launching at outlawstarpress.com. And, all the socials are going to be under that name, where you could find me on Substack at Weird Worlds. And so that's where I like to hang out online these days. So, yeah.
Awesome. Appreciate you being here, man. We're going to talk to you again here real soon. Mike, where can people follow you on social media if they want to keep up to date with all the stories you're putting out?
So the first best place is going to be Amazon. These bad boys are all there right now, waiting for you to want to bring them to your home. And in addition, I'm on Threads as Other Tucker, and I'm also on Don and I are on Instagram under Armies of the Night as well. And our newsletter, our errant, sometimes weekly, sometimes monthly, sometimes quarterly newsletter is on Substack as well. Also Armies of the Night. Seek us out. Worth the trouble.
I would venture to say so. Don Davis, anything you'd like to plug or tell everybody where they can follow you on social media if they want to keep up to date with your stories?
I don't want anybody following me. It makes me nervous.
Yeah, neither do I.
But mainly, no, I mean, my whole social media presence is tied with Mike's. So if Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg want my personal information, they're going to have to come pay me for it. So I will not participate in their online Snoop Patrol.
Mm-hmm.
That's Snoop Patrol, by the way, is a trademark of me. So feel free to use it in Raising King.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Thank you, sir, for being here. Cannot do this without you, and appreciate all of you fine fellas being here. And yeah, I'm surprised I was able to keep up with half the things they were saying, because I'm thinking to myself, wasn't this filmed over here and this character doesn't exist over here? But maybe I'm wrong. My name is Ryan of Anti-Quote Channel. Follow me across all forms of social media. Where am I pointing to? Where is it? I can't see it. There it is, at Anti-Quote Channel. That's where you can follow us across all forms of social media. We're on the road to 5,000. Once we do, we'll have a live stream that will include giveaways that you, the person who's watching or listening right now, are going to be eligible to win. Also, the seasons are changing. We got hoodies, we got shirts, we got stickers you can add to your water bottles, coffee mugs, stationery, notebooks, all that kind of jazz. If you want to check out my writings, it's called Wolf of the West. It is a short story that is a straight up Western. That's featured in Veritas Entertainment's Western Tales Volume 1, which is available on Amazon in ebook, paperback, and hardcover. 16 different writers, 15 different stories. If you're in the mood for a Western, you want to introduce somebody to the Western genre, as it were, saddle up and check it out on Amazon, because it's all there. It's all there. And I quote is on Saturdays, 12 p.m. EST. Movie watch-alongs are on Friday night, 7 p.m. EST. And The Shadow Council, our newest series where we discuss, spoiler-heavy discuss the latest episodes of Moss Shadow Lord, are on Saturdays, 3 p.m. EST. on the dates that you have there in front of you. So make sure you check that out. If you missed any of our episodes, you can go back to our channel and watch them on our playlist. We make sure that they are in order so you don't miss a thing, and you can get caught up to date with all that great stuff. Do not forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when our videos go up or they go live. And remember, life is better when supporting indie creators from all over the world. Take a look.
You've worked hard and written a great book. Now, it's time to give it a great cover. If you're an indie author or small press publisher, Plasma Fire Graphics is your source for affordable cover illustration and graphic design. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
All right, I'm a little tired, I'm a little wired, and I think I deserve a little appreciation.